good morning. Thank you for coming today to help us kick off and celebrate National Tree Week. This goes on all next week, all over Berea. So we want you to get out and share the word and enjoy. We've got brochures at everywhere you go across town, the grocery stores, the libraries, tourism, City Hall. So pick up the events calendar that's going on every day with all the events that we have planned for you. So, at this moment, I'm going to let the mayor say a few words and welcome you as well.
I'll be very brief. Donna told me, Bruce, be brief, and I always listen to Donna. But this is a great day to begin the Tree Week. We were very fortunate to be contacted by the University of Kentucky about Tree Week and kind of found out about it that way. And they actually came in and did an inventory and survey of our urban forest, which I thought was really cool. I think it was the city of Berea, the city of Paducah, the city of Georgetown, and the city of Hazard, along with Berea, where those studies were done. And we are very fortunate here in Berea to have a really healthy urban forest. I grew up as a bird would fly about 3/4 of a mile that way at the very end of Christmas Ridge Road. And one of the coolest things about growing up on Christmas Ridge is we had these huge oak trees, huge oak canopy up through there, all along that ridge and all the way down, and that still is there today. What I do in the fall, especially when the leaves start to change, is go out to see the leaves, but I also stop in a little gully because there's a smell when you're in the forest that's just like when I was a boy, when I was Landon's age. It brings back all those memories of being in the forest and playing in the woods when you were a kid. So I was lucky, and I think that we're lucky that our children, and hopefully our children's children, will have forests to play in like I did when I was Landon's age. I think that we're very fortunate, again, not only in our neighborhoods and our older neighborhoods, but along Brushy Fork Creek. Right on the other side of Brushy Fork Creek is where Daniel Boone and the Axemen came through in 1775 to blaze the first road into Kentucky. And there's still a forest along that creek line. Also with Silver Creek, a lot of old growth, anything from sycamore to hardwoods. Wendy's more of an expert on that than I am. But we're also very fortunate to have Berea College and the Forestry Outreach Center to partner with on Tree Week. Wendy's going to talk in just a few minutes, but there is a Forestry Outreach Center at Indian Fork Mountain that's dedicated to preserving and educating on forestry and the Berea College Forest. Another thing I would encourage you to do is very interesting that in the 1930s there was a blight where the chestnut tree was basically killed out. But now there's some chestnut, and that was probably, Wendy, the #1 building material. It was the best for everything until around the time of the Great Depression. But now, even on the Berea College Forest, there's an effort to restore the chestnut. And there's actually live American chestnut, not Chinese chestnut, not hybrid, but American chestnut that's growing. And Clint Patterson, who's a forester, is doing that. So if you go to the Forestry Outreach Center during Tree Week, I would encourage you to read. There's a little educational couple of posters, I guess, for lack of a better term, where you can read about the American chestnut and the restorative techniques trying to restore that to its natural environment. There's all kinds of cool things that you can see and do. Today we're going to dedicate a tree, and we have Landon Savia who is going to adopt the tree, so that's going to be really cool. We'll talk about that more in a few minutes. But not only is the city of Berea committed, but we have private citizens that are committed, and forestry outreach in the college, but we have private citizens that are interested in adding trees, adding to our tree canopy, and adding to the beauty of our city. Bill West, who owns Churchill's just on the other side, and Dr. Kelleher, actually, morning Kent, Dr. Kelleher actually volunteered. Dr. Kelleher bought hardwood trees, and Bill planted them at no cost to the city along the Indian Fork Trail to give it more of a park-like feel, where there's a line of hardwood trees that'll be there for generations to come. Also, the Berea Kids Eat program asked if they could plant redbud trees down in City Park, and City Park's another good place to see Berea's urban forest. So we were very happy to have that from a nonprofit and from 2 private citizens. But again, it shows the commitment of Bereans to recognize how fortunate we are to have a nice urban forest and try to improve that. But I'm seeing Donna over here. She's moved to the side a couple of times. That probably means I'm about ready to get the hook. But again, welcome to Tree Week, and we'll have a little bit more here with Landon in just a minute. Donna, who's next?
Okay, I'm going to ask John Payne, our city council member. You get to do the big. You get the big finale at the end. Is that good? You're gonna tell your story.
Well, I just wanted to say that I'm really happy to be here in front of our dog park. A dog park I know has, been in the hearts and minds of our community members for well over a decade. We were able to actually get it put in this year, and as far as Tree Week, I just see this as the first of hopefully many shade structures for our wonderful four-legged friends out here, and it represents the beauty it creates. It represents the shade it provides, the oxygen it provides. It reminds us of the forest that we're fortunate enough to have surrounding our communities. Indian Fort Theater, the Anglin Falls, I was just mentioning to another colleague, that is the most botanically diverse area in this region. And I'd like to remind everyone, as the colors change, get out, walk among the trails, enjoy the greenery, enjoy the changing of the colors, and really that's about all I have to say.
Good message. Thank you, John. Next up, we're going to ask Miss Wendy Warren from Berea College Outreach Forestry to speak to us for a second.
Really, a second?
Wendy? No. She does a great job with everything. The tour guides, the hikes that she's got set up this week, are just amazing what she's got planned for Berea.
Thank you. Yeah, and today I'm going hiking, so I've pardoned the hiking clothes. I'm privileged to be at the Forestry Outreach Center, where we really talk to people a lot about what we remember when our feet get on soil instead of pavement. We remember that our bodies are made for this, and there's all kinds of research about the stress reduction qualities of being outside, and especially in our forests. So to have a whole week to honor the trees is magnificent. And with that, I also want to always acknowledge that we're on the ancestral lands of Shawnee and Cherokee people. And when you go to the pinnacles to hike, there's a sign acknowledging those ancestral lands as you begin the path to walk up there. So there's plenty to contemplate as we're outdoors, and it's a place to help us find our balance. So we hope you can participate in all the activities for Tree Week and beyond. The Welcome Center is open from 10 to 4 every day except for Mondays, so come see them.
Did anyone mention the type of tree that we have here?
That's coming. The mayor's going to read all that title.
I hope somebody
I had
got
it wrong,
written
so
down.
Roy had to correct me over here on the proper name. So, okay, Mr. Mayor, Landon,
So at this,
are you ready to tell us what a tree means to you? Can you tell the group, tell us what the trees mean to you?
Okay. So this tree makes fruit, and also makes apples, makes maple trees, and the stem right here, and all plant here. We gotta dig this dirt and take this out, and we gotta make a new one, and then to make a maple tree, because this tree make us alive, and also grow coconuts on it, and sing, and then makes you want to sweep. You can sweep under the tree. You gotta pick up this dirt, and pick up this rock, and put it in, and you see that rock? That is the center of the root. You cannot go there for something small. You don't go there, so you only go to the top of the stem, and you just sweep under the tree because it gives you more shade, and then trees make us alive. So we got the earth because we got all the trees to help us we got all the trees in the earth to help us see or sweep or we can just eat fruit or coconuts or anything or maple trees makes you want that reminds you want to eat pancakes.
Landon, come back over here.
Surprise.
And Landon's exactly right. The earth, the trees, and we as people, we're all tied together, right? I think you hit the nail on the head.
Absolutely.
And what I'm going to do, let's hold this up, Landon, together. This is a certificate of adoption. Landon and his family have agreed to adopt this tree to make sure it's watered and it's nurtured. And let me read it here, Landon. It says that this is to certify that Landon Savia, a Berea Community School student, has formally adopted a tree by the name of the pink flowering dogwood, Cornus florida, and agrees to nurture, care, and provide all essential elements to the tree for the excellent health and growing stages during the tree's lifespan. And this is by me, Bruce Fraley, Mayor, October 9th, 2021. Congratulations, Landon, and thank you. Landon, come over here. Come over here and kind of hold that up.
Let's see her get your
And
picture.
let them see your face. Look at Miss Sarah.
Landon, right here.
Cheese!
Let me get a
Look up.
look at
That's great.
Good job.
perfect.
Now we also need to cover this with dirt too, right?
We do.
Landon, I'm going to need your help.
Cover the tree.
I'm going to need your help to finish
All
planting the
right,
tree, all right?
let the digging begin.
Let the digging begin. Here's your own personal shovel.
Look here.
I've got your own shovel for you.
We'll
You
dig
help
in
the mayor
here.
dig the dirt and put over
Look here,
the
Landon.
trees so
We'll
the
get us a
trees
little
look
shovel full
good.
like this and pitch it right on the top. Are you ready? We'll push it right on the top. How's that? And that way you can say you planted this tree.
Oh, I love it.
Keep on going, buddy. You get a shovel full.
My favorite is how I got from a tree to pancake.
Yes.
That's
logical next step, isn't it?
Little more, Landon.
Keep
Little
on
more
going,
dirt.
Keep on going. We got a little bit more to do.
Gotta cover up the dirt.
Are you buddy?
Cover up the tree. Little
Are you
more.
ready? Are you ready for the ball break? We're working good, buddy.
Hard.
Quit being lazy.
All right.
He's got big, Miss Cobra. He's got big.
All right. That maple tree's gonna make it. We're gonna have pancakes.
Maple/coconut trees.
I said lime tree. Lime. Then we went to coconut.
And Donna, could we have a more appropriate tree for a dog park than a dogwood?
Roy gets the credit for that. Thank you, Roy Curtis.
How you doing, Landon?
We planting catnip
A couple more
somewhere else?
shovelfuls and let Mr. Boy finish
I
up.
think we should.
How's that?
That's your project, Ken.
High five, we did it.
All right.
Good job.